Browns at Bengals Sunday, 1 o'clock, Paycor Stadium. Let's do some storylines and make some picks. Mary Kay, what are you watching Sunday?
Well, I'm going to take the obvious choice, and that is Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting his first game of the season and his first game since last year. His fourth overall start as a Cleveland Brown. They benched Jameis Winston. In fact, Jameis Winston is questionable for this game, and Bailey Zappi might even be the backup. So lots of upheaval, lots of change. What can DTR do? I checked in with him very quickly for a minute today, Friday, in the locker room, and he said he's raring to go. He feels ready. He's excited for this. He's also using it as an audition for the starting job for next year. So what do you have, DTR? Let's see.
And, of course, it'll help if he has David Njoku, who's questionable, said Tillman, who's also questionable. But they were both at practice today. We'll see what happens there. Ashley, what are you watching?
Well, on the other side of things, I'm curious how this Browns defense is going to stop the number one passing attack in the NFL right now. The Bengals lead in just about every passing and receiving category, especially Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who's the top passer, the top receiver in the NFL right now. Jamar Chase has never really wrecked the Browns. He's only had one 100-yard receiving game. That was all the way back in 2022. They seem to match up really well against them, but there's obviously some holes in this Cleveland secondary right now. We don't know if Martin Emerson Jr. is going to play. They obviously don't have Greg Newsome, but the Browns typically match up well against the Bengals in this regard.
Now, we're still on 100 sack watch, so that's what I'm watching. Well, Myles Garrett notched his 100th career sack. If there's any quarterback he's going to do it against, it's Joe Burrow. He has had his way with the Bengals offensive line, their scheme, everything. So I think this is going to be the week Myles gets it, but we'll see. We're still watching for him to get to 100 career sacks. It's going to happen soon. If it doesn't happen this week, it's going to happen soon. So predictions time. I think he gets the sack, but I don't think the Browns win this game. Look, the Bengals defense is bad, but I still worry about what the Browns offense has really looked like. They haven't scored a ton of points, even with Jameis at quarterback. I don't know if DTR changes that. The Bengals somehow still alive in the playoff chase. I think they'll be able to figure some things out against this Browns defense. I'm going to go Cincinnati 31, Browns 10. Ashley?
Well, it's not going to be a clean sweep this week because I've felt like this all week. And quite honestly, I don't think I've ever picked the Bengals to beat the Browns in my time covering the Browns over the last 4 seasons. So I just think the Browns match up really well with Cincinnati, even though there's some questions with how DTR is going to do. And I think they're going to find some extra motivation that if they get a win in Cincy, they end the Bengals season. The Bengals are one of 3 teams right now still alive, haven't clinched a postseason spot in the AFC, so they're in murky territory, but I think the Browns are going to take advantage. I'm picking Cleveland 24-17.
Okay, Mary Kay, what about you?
Well, Dan, I'm in your camp with the fact that I really don't think the Browns are going to end up being able to pull this off. And I think that in large part because just the offense hasn't been able to get the job done. Now, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to be going up against the 27th ranked pass defense. So this is the kind of game that you want him to start in because he might just be able to light it up a little bit against this pass defense. But I really think that the Bengals have so much to play for. It is a must-win. I said it.
You said it.
A must-win game for the Bengals. And I think that they're going to try to do everything they can, pull out all the stops to try to win this game. Now, of course, Myles Garrett can wreck the game for them. He's going to be going up against a makeshift left tackle in guard Cody Ford, so Myles can kind of take over. And with all the things that he said today about, maybe wanting out and setting the tone and wanting to win, I think he's going to go out and really, really play hard in this game. But nevertheless, I still think the Bengals will prevail because it means so much more to them, 24-17.
Okay, whatever happens, if Ashley's right or we're right, we'll cover it all at cleveland.com/Browns.